Hey, this is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Brian and Ledwig of A Fitting Revenge. How are we doing today, fellas?
Good. How are you?
Pretty
Doing
good.
great. So how was your Memorial Day weekend?
Uh, it was pretty good. I actually got a lot of house stuff done, a ton of music stuff done. I bought a new guitar, which is always a highlight for me.
What kind of guitars do you play?
Well, Brian, I'll let you answer that one first.
Uh, I play a lot of Jacksons.
Okay,
I'm kind of a Jackson snob. I love playing them. I love their soloist models. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm playing at the moment.
how about the acoustics there? Those Jacksons too?
The acoustic is an Ovation actually.
Oh yeah, nice guitar.
Yeah, they're great. That one is the mid body. I like it's a little bit brighter.
Gotcha. Okay, Ledwig, how about you?
Yeah, so I actually the main guitar you've probably seen in all the pictures. So I have a signature model with Rena guitars,
Mm-hmm.
headless thing, and then the guitar I just picked up this weekend is a Strandberg.
Oh, nice. So do you like the headless models?
I do. They're lighter, easier to carry. I mean, I don't know. I think the lightness is huge for me, and it's just
Gotcha.
so compact. Like I can just the weight's kind of close to your chest. So
Right. Okay. So let's talk about the new song, the Overthrow. um, that was a produced by Jack Daniels
yep, that's right.
at Sick Tone Studio, correct?
Yes. So he did the mixing. We did the tracking here in New York, and then we sent it over to him. And I want to say he's in maybe Missouri.
Oh, okay. So tell me a little bit about it, the single.
Sure. So the overthrow is so the whole album Omnipresence is about time, and each song is a different mini story relating to time travel, the implications of that. So the overthrow is specifically about, I mean, it's as the name implies, it's us humanity using science to overthrow the time order, getting to a point where we no longer see time as a straight line, but we start to see it as a cloud of different points, and you can go off into an infinite number of permutations, but we're overthrowing the order.
Gotcha. Yeah. Definitely like albums that tell stories. I know back in when I was younger, the one of the ones that I really enjoyed was Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime.
Great album. I love
Yes,
that album.
yes, and that was a good storyteller there. So you mentioned the Omnipresence that's coming out July 1st, correct?
That's correct. Yep. Super excited.
And you can pre-order that now on your guys' website.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
website, the iTunes, Apple, YouTube Music, basically anywhere that you can get your music from.
Okay, so you guys have been around since April 1st of 2012.
Right, right. We just hit that 10-year mark.
Nice. And so, I mean, since then until now, how has your music and your career progressed?
Um,
I mean,
hmm.
I know COVID took a shit on everybody, so I'm sure you felt that.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God.
My previous band, I just joined last year, but my previous band, um, every tour that we had just completely nixed
Right.
due to COVID. So getting ready for we have some upcoming shows this summer and a possible tour this fall that we're kind of working out right now. And finally just getting back into the swing of things because I've lost count the last time I was on stage. I think it was December 2019, I think.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I'm itching to get back out and play these songs.
Awesome.
We had a tour booked for. It was about the point where you start putting money on the line. So like the dates were all set, and it was October of 2020. And people have been asking us, like in the Midwest, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, we were gonna hit those spots.
Mm-hmm.
It was like March. And then we're like, yeah, we're gonna hit the. Oh boy, hang on. There's something happening in China. Oh, it's in Italy now. Oh crap, now it's in New York City. So yeah, definitely
So
to get back out.
what about future plans now that that's all over with?
The future plans. So we want to focus first on just making sure this release goes well. So we have some things working out. It's going to be a little tough. So we've kind of, I think every band that didn't play for a year and a half, 2 years, kind of lost momentum.
Right.
Very lucky in that we were able to play Metal in the Mountains last year, Music Fest in West Virginia, and we did play a one-off show in New York. So we don't have total ring rust going, but we're gonna try to just book as much as we can coming up, and it's tough because we're still kind of in the point where tours and venues, there's still some skittishness. It's getting better, of course, but there's money on the line for these things, and if people aren't feeling comfortable or if someone gets sick, it has to cancel a date. So we're kind of working through that now, but hopefully it's getting better.
Yeah, I mean, we have actually quite a few shows coming through here in Columbus. Actually, up till about August, it's pretty slammed. So looking forward to getting back out there. Actually might even go down to Marietta, Ohio, which is like 2 hours away. Hinder's playing down there. See if I can maybe set up a live interview with them. But, it just always ask, people when I talk to them, are you going to come through, Columbus or anywhere near? Because Columbus is a metal town. I mean,
100%. I've been through there many times.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And we've got, we got some pretty good venues here. It just, I don't know. It has been hit or miss lately. Now that they've released, or not, I wouldn't say released, but
like relaxed.
Yes, relaxed all the restrictions. When I first went to do an interview at the Newport, they wanted me to show proof of vaccination or a negative test, and I was able to do the interview, but wasn't able to go into the show, which really sucked. Because I didn't have that. But it's relaxed now. That it's not all that crap. So, and I know there's other bands out there on the East Coast that I've talked to that are looking to get this way. It's just like you said, it's tough to put it all together right now.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say one of the other challenges is that normally it was this kind of cyclical alternating tour show schedule, and then you have everybody stop for a while, and then everyone's trying to book all at once. So getting slots is kind of hard right now because everybody's trying to do it all at once.
Right. And what were you going to say, Brian?
Oh, I was just going to say what he was kind of saying too, is like all the tours, that we've been looking at or offered. It's like, if you don't jump on them right then and there, they're gone. We're straight out of the gates because everyone's trying to get out now. And like, I was shocked because I know, I forget, you guys used to have Rock on the Range and then they changed the name of it.
Yes.
And I feel like that's like the only major festival that didn't happen this year, because you had Rockville, which I've heard was pretty rough this year due to the weather. And then you've got, Aftershock, Incarceration Fest, and all that. But that was like the one in Ohio was the one that was missing this year.
Well, Incarcerations, that's about an hour and a half from here up in Mansfield.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But it's, I mean, pretty good lineup and everything. But yeah, a lot of people, I belong to the Rock on the Range Sonic Temple community, and they're actually putting a petition together to get that back here.
Oh, sick. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's
That was a
kind
great
of
festival.
a logistics thing, okay?
Yeah.
Because it was happening at the old Crew Stadium. Well, the Crew built the Columbus Crew, the soccer team built a new stadium, and the old one is just kind of sitting there. It doesn't even have a name on it right now. It was Mop Free Stadium. So I don't know how they're going to work all that out, but I hope they do, because that was an epic festival.
I feel like honestly that was the best fest in the States that we had. That
Mhm.
was like, I mean, you think of like these European festivals, and America's finally within like the last 10 years, 12 years, finally catched on. And they've got the open air, Chicago open air. They
Mhm.
had, Rock in the Range, and those festivals were fantastic. And being in Ohio, I mean, that's only 6 hours away from us, which is great, because it's an easy trip for a weekend. If you want to come as a fan, you get all the East Coast, the West Coast. And honestly, that always had the best lineup. Every year that I saw that, it was always that lineup crushed every other festival.
I
Yeah.
went 2018 before they changed the name to Sonic Temple, and it was fantastic. That was the year with Tool and Alice in Chains and Avenged Sevenfold, and
Mhm.
it was great.
Yeah, the whole thing behind that, I guess, is Danny Wimmer and his partner split. So Danny Wimmer wanted to keep it, and he had to change the name. So, Sonic Temple, from what I heard, because I hadn't been to one, I mean, it happened for like a couple years. Then the pandemic hit, and then hasn't been back. And I heard that it was, just as good as Rock on the Range. But, I mean, that guy's a G at putting together just like the most massive.
Yeah, Danny, he does it right.
Yeah.
He's the guy. I mean, I don't think he's ever put on a bad festival.
Right.
All of his fests, Rockville, Carolina Rebellion, Aftershock, all those festivals, just he crushes at every lineup. It's great. And it's all very diverse too.
Yeah, now the closest one that we have of his is Louisville, Kentucky, for Louder Than Life.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely been missed here in Columbus. I know, like I said, a lot of people are going on and on about it in the community, and started a petition. I signed it. I'm down for getting that back here, because I mean, crap, I could go crazy with some interviews there.
Yeah.
So
it made an impression on me driving around in Columbus and like earlier, and I think it was Cincinnati, but you guys have a metal station still on the radio. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
2018. We don't have that here in Rochester, New York. I don't know about Syracuse, but
no,
we had a metal station.
We had one, and then I don't know if there was like a changing of the guard at the station or something, but they don't play metal anymore. It was great. They had it was like Saturday nights from like 7 p.m. till 1 or 2 a.m. It was all metal, death metal, black metal, you name it. They had everything. It was great. It was like the best station to listen to. And unfortunately, they stopped doing that. I'm not sure why, but I wish they would bring it back.
Yeah, we have 99.7 The Blitz. They're our main rock station, but they do different segments, like with Full Metal Jackie, and they'll do like what is it, a local scene or local stuff or whatever for a few hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you'll catch a lot of our local bands, or local bands that around Ohio or even out of Ohio that have submitted music. So I mean, you guys might want to look into that.
Awesome.
Submitting something to them. They've been around 30 years now. They're actually celebrating their 30-year concert series right now.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, they're an all right station. I mean, it's honestly what I would like to do if I could, and I gotta figure out how to do it. Look at all the good stuff on Google, how to start an internet radio station, because a lot of these bands, pretty much all these bands that I do are, they're unsigned or they're independent, whatever, and they put out great music.
Yeah.
and they genuinely love what they do. They're not these corporate sellouts or people that's just doing it for the money. They love getting out there, playing in front of fans, and creating a fan base and talking to fans. And that's one of the reasons I do this, is so that I can do my best, do my part to get you guys out there.
Right. Yeah. Do you do a podcast? Is this like for a podcast, or do you just throw
No,
this
this
up
is
on
for
like?
this is for YouTube.
Oh, awesome. I mean, you could always do like a podcast, and have like a segment for like the local bands, play a bunch of different, like local bands and stuff like that. Cause with podcasts lately, I mean, they're just exploding, especially the music ones.
Oh,
They're
I
just,
know.
they're going crazy right now. And I honestly, I don't like Spotify because of how bad they treat the artists. So I don't even touch Spotify. But
Right.
like podcasts, it's the only thing I'll listen to on Spotify is like, Rob Flynn's podcast or Jamie Josta's or Doc Coyle's. I love their podcast because it's just the music stuff.
Those are
Yeah, and they have great interviews. But you could always do something like that and have a local slot for that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good suggestion. I'll have to look into that. So just tell me, each of you, what really got you into music?
My dad's actually a banjo player. He's been playing since before I was born. So he's been playing well over 35 years. And I grew up with an instrument in my hand. My first instrument was a violin. And I guess I don't really remember it much. I was real little, but my dad, they took me to like a recital, and like my instructor was like, "Oh, he's too old to be a prodigy." And my dad was like, "What?" So they were like, "All right, we're not going back. What else you want to play?" And I was huge into like obviously country and bluegrass because of my father.
Right.
So they got me an acoustic guitar, and they got me into lessons, and I started playing, and they refused to get me an electric guitar. They wanted me to learn how to play on an acoustic first. And my, guitar teacher was always like, "Hey, we're going to teach you theory." So he would teach me theory, and all my friends were playing songs and this and that. And it didn't at the time when, you're 4, 5, 6 years old, it wasn't clicking like, oh, I want to, I'm learning the building blocks to all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, about 7th grade, middle school, I ended up going to my dad, and I was like, "Hey, I want to try out for jazz band, and I need an electric." So he got me one of the starter Fender Squire kits, and I found the distortion button on the little practice amp, and all of like the AC/DC and Queensryche and all those bands from the 80s that my father would listen to, Van Halen. I would just try to replicate all of that with that little amp, and then finally for my 16th birthday, I got, a Les Paul, and I just started playing and playing and playing. I ended up going, went to Berkeley and, studied there. And then I came back, and, I just started playing in bands when I came back, and now I'm here, and it's great because my previous band, there wasn't any guitar solos. It was just 8 strings, 7 strings, just low tune, just chugging. And me, being a dude who he's got 25 plus years of, theory and just loving to shred. That's, this is perfect. I love, the camaraderie in the band. Everything is just, it's like all the stars finally aligned for me. I've been having a great time.
That's awesome. How about you, Ledwig? What got you into music?
Oh, yeah. So my dad was a saxophone player in a salsa band. And he also played guitar, and his dad played guitar and made an instrument that's basically like a guitar or a mandolin. It's called a cuatro.
Okay.
So I guess guitar is in my blood, but originally as a kid, I started playing piano. And, I didn't like being forced to practice. I was taking these lessons, so I just didn't want to do it anymore. And funny enough, my brother picked up the piano, and he's now like some crazy good salsa piano player. But after that, I started playing saxophone. and did jazz band and whatnot in middle school and high school. And at that point, I kind of stopped right after high school, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I can pick up guitar, or maybe I can play the drums or something. I don't know. And I tried a couple times and just lost interest. And finally, I started playing Guitar Hero of all things, and I got really good at it. And I thought, why am I wasting my time with a video game when I can actually be playing this?
Mm-hmm.
So so I just grabbed my girlfriend's beat up electric and just started fumbling through things, and then it kind of all went from there. But I went in with the mindset that if I ever wanted to quit that day, no questions asked, I would just sell my shit and just quit.
Right.
And giving myself that freedom, I've been playing probably 13 years, 14 years, I don't know, in there somewhere.
It's funny you say the Guitar Hero thing, because every guitar player that I know that can play guitar can't play Guitar Hero. Like, I saw videos of like Slash and Scott Ian trying to play it, and they cannot figure out the game. And when I was a kid, I couldn't figure it out either. All my friends are like, it's just guitar, man. You can play guitar. You can't play this. And I'm like, my brain cannot figure out how to do this.
Well, you mentioned that because I was really good at Guitar Hero. Then I learned how to play guitar, and I didn't play Guitar Hero for a long time. And then I tried to play Guitar Hero at an arcade.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. I just couldn't. It was like that part of my brain had been rerouted to something.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know all like the proper techniques and everything, and it just throws any technique out the window and just button mash.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably a technique for the game, but I have no idea how to do it.
Yeah, it can be quite tough. We had Rock Band, so we had the whole setup, but
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I just there were some songs that, like, if you went pro, I mean, you was done in like 30 seconds. Like, it was just horrible. Like, man, but anyways, I just I appreciate you guys letting me know, how you got started. And one more question I wanted to ask Ledwig is, how did you went from playing piano and whatever, and then you go into singing with the unclean voice? How did you get into that?
So that's a really good question. Originally, the band started out, and we were all brought together by a vocalist who is, of course, not in the band anymore. So we originally were a 4-piece, vocals, guitar, bass, and drums. And after he left, about maybe 2.5 years in, we just started auditioning vocalists, and one after another, they came in, and they were, scrub is not the right word. They were just half-assing it. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them just came in. Like, we had a few people, not one, a few people come in and tell us the day of their audition, hey, I didn't learn any of the music, but I just thought I could kind of improvise some stuff. Or one person said that they had never screamed before ever until that day.
Oh, wow.
It was audition after audition, and we were just, kind of burning up all this time. And as we're doing this, I remembered back to the story about Dave Mustaine. And Dave had been looking for vocalists for a long time, and somebody told him, or he just decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna do it myself. So I thought, you know what, why don't I just prepare for 2 months, whatever, it was some amount of time, and why don't I try out for my own band? I'll just learn one song, see if I can do it. And they weren't super into the idea, so we had to get through a couple more really crappy auditions before they would let me have the time and the attempt. And finally I did it, and I just squeaked in there, and I've been able to, take lessons and work on my technique ever since.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you back to what you was doing. I appreciate your time. And
so much for yours. We appreciate it.
Hopefully we can get you through here soon.
Oh, we would love to. We're hoping to at least be outside of New York touring this fall. So we would love to. Our bass player's from Cleveland, so she's always asking to make sure that we can get an Ohio date. So we will absolutely try to get through there.
Awesome. Yeah, because I mean these Zoom interviews are great and all, but there's nothing like a live one. And getting
Yeah,
the photo pass,
absolutely.
being able to shoot some cool ass pictures.
Oh man, we'd love to have you. We would love
So-
to have you.
All right, fellas. Well, I will get this edited and up on YouTube, and I will send it to Tracy so that she can send it to you guys.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too.